Another little quick here. Before I do that, though, I see the trunk got some water in it, which is no big deal. Of course, it's fiberglass. I think I pointed out before, I thought it was pretty cool. They had a spot here for the jack handle. There it is. See that? I thought it was pretty cool. And these little tabs that kind of hold it. I'm going to clean them up the best I can. Just put them in the sink, wash with cold water. And I'm going to dry them out. Oh, I don't want to hurt it. There you go. The other weird thing I noticed was this here. They're like felt. And they're sopping wet. So I'm going to clean those up in the sink. And I'm just going to use some cold water here. Tire iron, squeeze them a little bit. These are nasty, I know. I'm going to carefully just give them a little. Boy, if they don't disintegrate. I'll be very careful. The ones are all dried out nice. If they still hold together, they'll be under the carpet. You know, you can see me doing. I'm going to squeeze the juice out. Okay. I'll show you the next step. I'm going to use the same cooking pan that I had my sandpaper in. Carefully unfold it, not bad. It's not disintegrating. I'm going to put it in there just like we're making freaking, like we're making a hamburger. Flatten up. Oh, this is Restoration 101 on doing these felt. This one I've already cleaned and squished out. I figured somebody will look at it. What a friggin' nut job. Well, yeah, so if they dry out nice, and they're still pretty good, I'm going to keep them with the car. I've been with it all these years. These are pretty good shape for the tire iron. This might be a little bit too warm. I'm going to keep them out. And they'll glue right back in when the check. I'm going to clean that trunk out real good. When I get prep the car, and I might paint it black in there. I don't know. I might leave it original. I should. Any pieces that I took off this vehicle that I decided I wanted to paint black, I sandblasted them, primed them, and painted them with a black enamel, and cleared them. So I got excited in this way here because I didn't have time to sandblast any trunk pieces that I came with the car, so I had them in storage. So this is when I said, oh my God, that's for a jack handle. So I went and got the jack handle. Look, it's the wrong size. It was in the trunk. It's too long. That's not the one to this car. It's very cool though. I have a very nice collection of jack handles. I'm sure I have one that will fit in there. But I'm really hoping when snow melts a little bit, I'm going down to the woods to the other 63. That'd be a restorable parts car for this one. And I hope there's a jack handle in there. And I would have never gotten looking this good without the expert help of my nephew. Thank you very much. My nephew David. There's a few imperfections, but it's good. We could say we did it ourselves, and we're happy. As good as we want it. I cannot believe it came out this good with the facilities I have here. So I'll put a lot of clear on, then you can at least smooth that up. But I don't like metallic. I don't see what the big deal is. But it was a original later color, and I think it fits the vehicle. Exemplifies, if I'm using the word correctly. And I don't mind admitting to you if I've been a dumbass. You'll learn by my mistakes. For one, I try to be real careful with the sander. I can see a couple of places I hit the chrome here. Of course, if you're really into it, you could probably polish that out and buff it. But I got a little sloppy there. Another little issue I just had. Oh man, I just love how it's looking. There you go. I slipped out here, squeegee in the floor. And when I slipped, I hit the freaking body with the Gary Gilmore gun. That pissed me off. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to fix it or not. Touch it up and buff it or something. That's why I do suggest it. Usually I cut the garden hose right off. Just cut it off, turn it down low. That way if you bump the car, you won't hurt it. How are our trunk felt burgers? We call them the trunk felt burgers. Ooh, a little damp yet. I'll probably, when they're dry, I'll probably bag these up and replace them. But I'll save them. It's because they're the originals. I just can't get over how wonderful this turned out. I tell you, this is pretty darn close to show quality. I was really into it, but I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars replacing the dash because it's got a crack in it, and I want to make it my own. And I'm gonna put on some different wheels, and the originals do look kind of cool. It's been out 2 winters I've been working on this, and my son would be out there skateboarding. I said, boy, you better hope that I don't find any deep chips in this come time to paint it. The only chip in it, really, unbelievable, I don't have a little divot somewhere, is the one I just put in it yesterday with the Gary Gilmore hose gun. All right, let's see. I wasn't particularly fond of these Avantis when I saw them, but then I saw one up close, and I guess I do like different designs and how things for that time period and how people perceive vehicles at that time. And I like the fiberglass body because there's no lines, you know. It's nice. There's no breaking off here like most conventional manufactured vehicles. The whole front end's one piece, and so it just is a nicer, cleaner look, right? No, I'm not particularly. I think they missed the mark on the front. I was like, what the hell kind of a front end's that? But I'm warming up to it. And I can't wait to get the headlight buckets in and the lenses. Can't wait to get back to reassembling this. And but we got to do the transmission next. I got 1 week before they do my shoulder surgery, and then I can't wait to put parts back. What's the other thing? Yes, there was, I believe it was 129 separate pieces of fiberglass to put this body together. And Studebaker had all sorts of orders coming in, and I say a lot of famous people or notoriety were put in orders, and a lot of them did get them. But it took so long for them to get the body right. They're really meticulous about it. And I tell you, I know every square inch of this car. And I tell you, they did a pretty darn nice job putting her back together. And there again, they had trouble also with they had some paint issues. That held things up. They tried a different brand. I guess that was anybody's welcome to comment and correct anything I might. But my retention isn't that good. And I'm not going to go back and research everything. And there again, they claimed that they were the world's fastest production car in '63. Held 29 new national stock car records at Bonneville Salt Flats. You know, so that engine. And then they put the Paxton supercharge on it. That's what bumped her up there quite a bit. Studebaker actually was the first one to come up with the overhead valve V8 engine, then before GM and Ford. My nephew had to correct me that, yes, Chevy had overhead 6 cylinders. And I think one of the reasons why this engine did so well, breaking all these sorts of speed records, was that it's the same design block from 1953. Studebaker didn't change their design much because they couldn't afford to. But that block gave them a lot to work with as far as the turbocharge and boring her out. And it's the same freaking engine, you know, just beefed up. And it's tough to stay focused and finish these projects. Today is like such a major hurdle today. I can't get on about how excited I am. Because now the worst is done. I didn't have this video camera earlier to show you what the steam cleaning and I use this wire brush cup. These are wonderful for cleaning. I did the whole frame. I cleaned and sanded, then take the body off it. And then these little wire pieces, I found one a month later was underneath my skin. I go, what is that? Always wear one time you wear eye protection is with these things. Please do. We got all the undercoating off, which I don't know why they used undercoating, whether it was for a sound or what, or they felt it protected things. But I primered the crap out of her. I put it on heavy, but I just wet sanded till I got down to, yeah, now it's shrunk and you can see the original fiberglass strands, which that's wonderful. These are pretty smooth in here. Yeah, so yesterday, chamoised the whole car good, and that's undercarriage of it. I can't wait till the day we have to grease this thing. It's got a ton of grease fittings. And to be focused, it's the rewards. Hopefully, I can proudly drive this down the road, and I guess if you want to show off your abilities and talents, you really work hard and show that you're capable of doing. So far, I guess I've got it proud of you, girl. How the hell's making an old girl? I wish I could find one right now. My golden years. And let's get down to, you hear the wind howling outside. February 19th. It's kind of a wild day. Next couple of days is going to get warmer. I hope we get. Okay, back to the transmission. I'll make it brief. I got a creeper. In fact, Uncle Jimmy, a friend of mine, who I have a couple stories about in my book. Uncle Jimmy found this on the side of the road for free. And but actually, it robs me of room. So here's my hot water heater, $800 here about a month ago. This makes for a nice creeper. The floors are really clean, chamois down. I'll show you a little bit of the transmission. My son and I drove this car. I paid $12,000 for it, and it was drivable. And then I had to tune her up good. And it was very poorly maintained. I mean, I could tell her the guy put tires on as needed. The son told me they put new brakes on it, put new brake pads on the front, and all four wheels were barely, calipers and cylinders were barely even operable. The vehicle was operable, but always pissed out some tranny fluid. So I always added oil to it, but it did leak quite a bit. And then we drove up to Saratoga, New York, to a car show. Real hot day, and I overfilled the tranny, and for some reason, oh my God, it gushed out, went all over the exhaust. What embarrassing going down the road, fogging. So we actually had to have a AAA, good AAA. I had it shipped home. We rented a car. We never drove a new car before, so we went on up to Vermont for a little vacation. But anyhow, so then I got home. I don't get it. I put fluid in it, and we drove it quite a bit, and it was okay, but still leaked. I don't understand that, automatic transmission guys. First, the only thing I was going to show you, because I had to take this plate off of here, see? Held the ground wire, and I'm also doing this, so I remember I'll put things back together. It did have, it's odd, I had a threaded one on this side, a bolt, with my fingers there. A threaded one there, but yet the other side has a bolt. And yes, it's grungy. I can't wait to get it out and clean it up real good, get it rebuilt. There again, thank you, my place of employment. They discard gloves that are no longer sterile from surgery. So yes, I'm a pretty boy, but yeah, your hands from painting and grease and stuff, it's worth it if you got to buy some rubber gloves that fit good. And you can grab things better too. Let's get that dang tranny out. And yes, I wish it was a 4-speed instead of an automatic. Of course, automatics are okay too, but they're kind of hard to find. These are, again, there's only, I think, what was it, 40-some hundred of these 2 years they made these. So I was very fortunate to find this one locally. Only thing I like about automatic transmission on this, for some reason, it'll start out in second and shift to third, though you do have first. You want to go first, second, third, but it always feels like, even in third, it feels like it should have like one more gear. If anybody's driven these, they know what I'm talking about, in my opinion. And like this, this reminds me of, there's going to be some guys, too bad it's not a 4-speed instead of an automatic. I don't know how many times I got that with cars through the years. When my Corvette, my 63, we'll see it in a while, in the future here. If you're a Corvette guy, I think I already did this. Too bad it's not a split window coupe. Too bad you only have a car, that minivan. And the other one is, I have a 77 MGB, not a big buck car, put a lot into it. Same thing with that. Too bad it's a rubber bumper. I were in here though, and it came with a built-in freaking roll bar from the factory. Isn't that something? Isn't that cool? You know, there's a lot of little items of interest in these Studebaker. Unbelievable. Praise the Lord, there she is. Oh my God, 6 hours. I timed myself today. Got the tranny, and this is a monster. This tranny and these bolt up these 289s. I used my little hydraulic jack to let her out of there. It was touch and go. I did have to unbolt the right bank of the dual exhaust, and it just squeezed down through. I was able to get the cross member out, which I'll clean up. You can see even originally it's a pretty nice shape. This car at least never saw any New York weather. Unbelievable. Oh, jeez. The left bank, when I bought the vehicle, the left bank leaked, so I addressed that a couple years ago. Oh, what do they call it? The damper. I left the damper out. Can't see it, but I left the, I believe they call it a heat damper. I hope I don't have to. Let's crawl under here quick. Here, take a look. This in undercarriage. I had to clean this car pretty good, but just a little. Bear with me. Here's what we got under here. I got to clean all that up. I'll probably paint my exhaust system, spruce that up once. The rest of it is my life. Oh, unbelievable. I don't know, getting it back in if I'm going to be that lucky. I was able to squeeze this one over. Loosen the hanger. I don't know if there's any Avanti guys out here that had done this route. They probably restored them. But to take this exhaust, the one thing this vehicle did have that was good was a nice, good new exhaust system. And as you know, once you clamp these down, they don't come apart too good. And I hate to mess with my other side because I say I spent a lot of hours on that. So I had to use the torch. I used the heat up the two bolts. Not too bad. Let's wrap things up here and zip over here. There you go. Here's a lot of the bolts from the taking the transmission out. I'm gonna wash them up, clean them all up nice. I might repaint the motor mounts. I like to sandblast and paint things nice black enamel when they're out. So I got to clean all that up. Oh yes, how did our trunk felt burgers? These little guys here for the tire iron. No, I'll probably leave these out, but I'll save these. Well, they dried out pretty nice. And they're pretty strong. They don't seem to rip apart. Maybe we'll put them back in. Oh, and one more thing. Let's go a little more detail on this, what was underneath the spare tire. I'm sure this is factory. It looks like it was a carpet, but it's like, I don't know, it turned into like a gooey mess. And it looks like from the Studebaker, they put some sort of a, see this is all crusty now? Like they glued some kind of a pad on the carpet, and then that was underneath the spare tire. And every shop should have a gas bucket. This is what I use. I think it's an old pressure cooker or something. That's what I use to wash up some of my parts. Gasoline and a brush. How come you don't have one of them? They're parts washers. But a parts washer, I think if you're doing a lot of mechanical work, yes, they are nice. So I like to go gas bucket. There you go. I'm going to clean these items up. And lastly, you know what? It's, what is it, February 19th? I'm up here on the hill. Let's take a little look outside quick. This is my outside lavatory. It's a wild-ass day up here today. We hear the wind blowing or not? The old barn. There's bug-eye number. I don't even want to step out in the snow. I showed you before. There's bug-eye number 8 that I picked up. There's my son's convertible. I think they call it E36 99 convertible BMW. Never seen a winter. But next couple of days it's going to thaw out. And then I'm going to get that transmission outside on a decent day and clean it up real good. I'll show you how we deal with that. Start firing up the steam cleaner, and I'll show you how I clean those. And it's just pity. This is my 75 Caddy limo, the family limo. Partied in it a lot in the old days, my friends. Now the hood's kind of become a little bit of a workbench. I'm very careful not to. It's really nice under there. Yeah, and I've been on a pretty rough day. I think it's time to have a little sip of this fancy cocktail I got stashed down here. Kid ain't found. What is this stuff? Oh, shouldn't show them what kind of product it is. Might have me. I'm gonna live it up and have a beer. Well, praise the Lord. Thank you for getting me through this day. Getting that damn all that tranny. I knew it had to be taken out and rebuilt, and this is the time to do it. Here's a wonderful tool I inherited from my father after wicked stepmother number 2, who took everything. This has been in a family for years, but I was excited to get it. They get a little spin though. I just bought a brand new brush, $130. Harbor Freight has a lot of good stuff, but this came from Granger's. These last a long time. I think it's called a Willer. This is number 3 of the 3 bolts in the trunk that bolted to the frame. As I was saying, the frame's in real nice shape, but the trunk was had a lot of dampness in it. So here's the first phase of restoring these little guys. These Avantis, they use the same frame as the Studebaker Lark. They just modified them and extended them a little bit to accommodate this body. But they're a heavy-duty frame. They're got the X frame just like back in the 30s on I have an old LaSalle coupe. Same kind of frame, X in her, super heavy-duty. In fact, when I put this on jacks, I tell you, I had 3 of them under there, and I'll tell you, that is rigid. Nothing, I could actually rock the car on this level floor. Very sturdy frame. And same with Corvette. In 1953, 1954, they used 53, 54 Chevy frame to try to sell the Corvette idea. Same with Studebaker. Well, see, we got a frame and it saved a lot of money. Same with Mustang. Had the same unibody as the 61 Ford Falcon, which was my first car when I was 16. So here's what you do here. Oh, I love this wire brush stuff. Look at that sucker. First you clean it up real good. Best you can do with a wire brush. You know it's pretty rusty. It still looks pretty good even wire brush. They did kind of come out a little bit. Give me a little bit of a hard time getting out. That's as good as that's going to get with a wire brush. Look at that nasty thing. Watch this. Gonna clean it up, knock off the worst as you can. It's still pretty crusty, right? Now you could put this in a cabinet sandblaster, which I do have down in the basement. It's pretty dusty and messy. It takes a while. I'm going to show you a cool way of restoring these. I'm going to put these 3 bolts and washers in this jelly jar. I bought it this summer at a flea market or something. Good jelly. I forgot who made it. Put them all in there like that. Now, there's the next phase. I have now I'm going to buy some muriatic acid. I get it at Lowe's or any hardware store. But I'm all out right now, so we got to buy some acid. I'm going to show you. You soak these in acid, and boy, you'll be so cool. Inside an hour or so, it will eat all the rust off of these. Nice. In time, I'll be cleaning up all these parts and painting them before I reassemble everything. Something I noticed on this Studi was this thing here. If you visualize if it was on the vehicle. I don't think that's a fact. I don't know why. It's just some cheesy piece of thin, not even angle on here. It's metal. Like, what were they doing? Did somebody put this on there to try to figure they protect, like, so I don't know what that's all about, but I don't even think I'm going to put it on, even though it has this little thing on there. Another quick thing with these, whenever they design a new body, in construction, they don't think about how to maintain things later on. So one thing I noticed, the brake lines, they were tough to get to. I got this nice brake line here, and for years I've been saving this one here, thinking, it was a half or a 9/16 or something. Then I went to use it. It's because of the old rust on there when I found it. It's metric, so that wouldn't have helped. But luckily, with just a regular 1/2 inch, I was able to get up in there and crack those transmission lines off the transmission. Another thing I noticed on here, not a big deal, I suppose, is I took the transmission out. It's odd. It has this, has like an access cover up here. See my finger right there? It's a round hole. An access cover on the right side of the tunnel. There's like a figure. I did look on the transmission, and it does about same distance back. It does have an adjuster for the bands. So I think years ago, sometimes they did adjust the bands on these. Another major hurdle today was these Studies are noted for oil leaks. In fact, the front of the oil pan, this engine was rebuilt. I got all the records from when it was built. The first 2 owners took good care of it. Second owner had the engine rebuilt at I think it was like 28 or at 78,000 miles. Now it's got just 100 on it. So at least the engine was running good when I got it. Needed a total tune-up. What was I going to say? To get the oil pan. Oh, jeez. Got uglier and uglier. Oh, yes, and taking out the transmission, I was able to, took off the right bank. Boy, it was tough squeezing out. To get it back in, and geez, I hate to mess with my left bank because I redid it already. I'd take the hangers off. But in order to get the oil pan off, I had to take the tie rod end, get that out. Move the steering all the way to the right. And I did end up having to take off the left bank, which I had removed before. And now all the reassembly, cleaning, and even down under here, I'll probably get down under here with my little spray gun and respray with enamel. Could cheat and use rattle can. And yes, I had a block of wood here and jack. I also had to jack the back of the engine up as well. I'm going to take the jack down there. I'm going to have a couple boards just to support it till I get everything back in and get the tranny rebuilt. And I was anxious to get the oil pan out and see how it looked inside. I think it's got roughly 25,000 miles since the rebuild. And not too ugly, but down the bottom. Rochester's holding the light for me a little bit here too. So in the bottom there, see the light. A little sludgy at the very bottom. Don't see any. I'm gonna get my fingers crappy right now. I don't feel any pieces of metal or anything. That's cool. I can't wait to clean it all up. And now there again, I'm going to repaint that. Like the engine, I just got regular gold, I think it was automotive, might have been engine paint, I'm not sure. Gold spray can or rattle can, and then I use automotive clear and hardener over the engine, and I'm going to do the same thing with this oil pan. And I also discovered sometimes you want to cheat a little bit on a part. I have used just Rust-Oleum black paint, rattle can, and it always looks good for a while. Rattle can paint dulls after a while, though I like to use the regular black enamel.